Hey, it's been a minute, man. What's going on?
Same shit, different. No, that's a lie. It's not the same shit. It's completely different shit, actually. But I think we talked a little bit about some of the stuff I'm doing nowadays.
Yeah, you do. Quite crazy, bro. All the shit you got going on.
But you said the perfect words. You said I forgot what you said. Like biting off more than I could chew, or
No, I guess it's something about
taking too much.
getting too much, putting too much on your plate or some shit.
Exactly. Yeah, that's.
Uh,
But am I when it comes to prep? Am I the only one that does it? I feel like everybody on prep, you start doing a little too much of everything sometimes, right? Like you get hyper fixated on just shit,
I don't.
right? Oh, okay. Well, it's like I'm always kind of like that, but it gets so much worse in prep. You know, it's one of
Yeah,
those things. Or you just buy shit. Sometimes people just buy shit. That's another thing.
yeah.
Damn, look at
But
you. Look at
prep bias. You start about all kinds of shit you don't even need.
Yeah, man. I didn't recognize Joe for a second there. Who's this guy? Your
Hey
face.
guys,
Oh, skinny Joe.
Why your
skinny
face?
me.
Why your face so drawn in? Good touch by shaving the beard. You see the beard looks fucked up when your face comes down, right? It looks like home. It looks makes you look
That's
raggedy.
what. That's exactly why. So my face got fucking taken off real early this season. So I trimmed my beard shorter because I started to look like old and homeless and shit. So the shorter it is, the better your face is gonna look.
Bro, it's like it's like it's like your well, it's like your face can't handle all that beard anymore, right? It's like
No,
the beard eats up the face. It's
start
not.
yeah. And then my fucking I don't have a double chin no more. Not
Yeah,
off
yeah.
season me. So no shit. Sorry,
Hey,
Uh-huh.
Paul's pussy's in the way.
Well, most
you
people
know
don't
my pussy,
realize.
dog.
Most people don't realize the reason we grow beards off season is because our faces are fat. We're trying to hide. We're basically trying to hide the fat on our face. Let's be real, right?
Yeah,
Even if you don't get fat, your face is gonna get kind of watery or puffy, and
yeah.
it's not a good look. So we kind of hide it. But then in prep, when it comes down, it looks the opposite extreme. You start to look homeless, bro. You start to look
when I
homeless.
when I got ready for the Cal 22, I just let everything grow out. My hair on top, my beard. I look fucking terrible. I was like, but that was the first time I ever got like shredded. And so I
Yeah,
didn't have
yeah.
the energy to, I was like, I'm not getting no haircut. The fuck?
Oh yeah. I mean, you're gonna have preps where you have to push so hard that you don't even care, bro. You're like you don't even ignite. You're aware that you look homeless, but you couldn't give a fuck less. You don't care what you
Yeah.
wear. You don't care how people perceive you. You don't care how you behave. You don't care about anything. Those preps are rough. Those preps are rough.
Yeah. That's how you know you're getting in shape though.
That's true. That's true.
When you stop giving a fuck.
But you feel like you do it enough times, you still feel the discomfort, but you're okay in the discomfort, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you get used you just the idea of it, you know what to like expect and stuff. You know how to carry yourself. You're more self aware. It's always the same feeling though. Like I can walk in the room and be like, "Hey, Paul, I'm feeling it today," but kind of come off normal. Like, yeah, me too, and that's it. It feels like prep.
100%. I try to explain it to like newer people, like newer clients. Like it's like they're like, "Yo, do you feel like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, we all feel like that." And I remember asking Compton the same thing the first time he really pushed me. I'm like, "Yo, there's no way you guys feel like this. You can't. Like, why would?" He was like, "I mean, there's gonna be slight differences, but for the most part, everybody feels like shit." And I'm like, I kind of wish I knew this before, right? I'm like, I didn't realize it was that bad. I thought it was just like you're a little tired, because I wasn't in shape for a long time, so I would just feel tired. Okay, cool. But there's a feeling you get where you could like this literally happened. You could leave your phone at home and not have the energy to go back to get your phone, and you're like, fuck it. I guess I'm just not gonna have my phone today. You
Just
know?
raw dogging it.
Yeah.
See, I don't
So
do that. But see, then there's alternative, right? There's alternative prep. Like, what's the alternative? Your bulking season, right? So when you're
Oh
bulking, you're
yeah,
eating fucking 7,000 calories. You're full as fuck, and you gotta put that food down.
it's true.
So when I'm on prep, I'd rather starve than have to fucking eat when I'm full of shit.
I know what you
You know what I
mean.
mean? So I
I know
enjoy
what you
prep
mean.
more than I enjoy the off season.
I know what you mean. I've heard you guys say this, and I used to disagree with it just because I'm like, obviously my food is less than yours, but it's kind of the same thing because, well, my appetite is less than yours as well, you know, and it's like it balances out. So if you're doing it the proper way, which the truth was I just wasn't doing off season the proper way, right? I was just kind of like I was making him comfortable, right? So and then when I've had times I've done it uncomfortably, then I'm like, this is extremely uncomfortable, and it is more uncomfortable. It's more uncomfortable than prep for sure. It's like it doesn't take as much. I feel like prep takes more discipline, like mental, like okay, just be hungry. Like I'm trying to explain it the right way. I think off season is harder. Forcing food down is physically harder, but I think dieting can be mentally harder. Just if you get cravings or hunger and stuff like that, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you're not able to break off and go have a burger if you want a burger. You know.
Exactly.
Well,
Whereas off season, you could be like, fuck, I don't know, like, bro, I can't get this meal down. Let me
yeah,
drink it. Let me drink it, or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
let me have cereal instead of fucking oatmeal, just because now that doesn't mean it's easy. It's
No,
still hard to eat the cereal, but you get a little relief knowing that there's like an alternative. Whereas if I have fish, I mean, I can't like say, oh, let me just have a steak instead, right? In a prep. So yeah, off season, I just feel like I have to be more locked in as far as one track mind. Like, no, you can't. Like, everything has to be perfect. But in off season, forcing the food is just it's like a drag, and you're not very efficient. At least prep, you can get shit done. Okay, yeah, let me do this. Off season, when you're just falling asleep all the time,
yep.
oh man, you can't get up. You can't tie your shoes. Those are rough. Yeah, those are rough.
Right,
I guess.
you literally want a nap after every meal.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I guess if you had to do if you had to do so basically if you had to do off season for let's say 3 years straight versus prep for 3 years straight though, which one would you choose?
Off season,
Because
just because you can pull back on an off season, you don't have to prep, but you kind of just what is it, recomp so you can keep pushing. So you get a little break every time if you do it right.
Yeah,
that's what I was getting at. Even though I do agree it's harder. Well, what about like hanging out with your family and stuff, right? Whereas if I was going for 3 years, I would want to be able to have an off plan with my family and things like that. So
yeah.
I think convenience wise, Kane, no, go to bed. I think convenience wise, off season is more convenient, even though it's fucking difficult, man. It's fucking difficult. You
And
know?
you know, one thing I often think about whenever I'm getting shredded is there was some dude out there that was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to get as lean as possible and get into a level of body fat where like he's the first to experience like damn I don't know if I'm dying or like, like that feels like shit, should I go to the doctor because I feel fucking terrible. Just experimenting on yourself like let me see how fucking shredded I can get before I die. you
Well,
know
oh, well, there's a video of Dorian talking about that, right? Because there's nobody to bounce ideas off of. He was like, well, nobody had, okay, no, nobody had ever been this big, this lean. So he's like, damn, this is, this feels crazy. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I too big? Like, am I going to die? Like,
yeah, am I pushing to a place where this is gonna kill me?
that's what I'm saying. Whereas I could see you do it and be like, well, he seems fine. He's alive. Okay. I mean, he made
Yeah.
he put on a bunch of muscle. I'll try it. Yeah, I'll probably put on a bunch of, but you have shit to bounce it. What if it's a disaster? What if you bulk up to 300 pounds and your waist grows 4 inches and you look like, you know what I'm saying? You don't know. Somebody had to do it to, that's, that's the thing about the sport. Somebody has to do it first before you really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got another question for you guys. You guys feel like the longer you do it, there's in a lot of ways there's less emotion. Huh. Well, I guess, but let's say Joe got a kid now. That there might be more emotion in some ways, like, okay, I'm doing this for my family, but at the same time, maybe less personal emotion. Like, let's say, let's say you're in prep, like you want to win, the show, right? But every day you might not be thinking about bodybuilding 24/7 like you did when you were like a kid, basically. That makes sense what I'm trying to say?
I almost want to say prep's easier the more
You're busy.
outside stuff from bodybuilding that I have. Yeah.
That's
Like
what I'm saying.
like I remember when I did USAs and literally all I did was bodybuild. I even stopped my clients. I had no job to do. Like all I did was bodybuild. That
Mm-hmm.
that was terrible
Mm-hmm.
because all you do is think about prep, how terrible you feel, how hungry you are. But when I'm busy, I may feel all those same things, but I'm too busy to think about it. So
Mm-hmm.
like, like worrying about, does Ashley need something? Is Jax crying? Like, does she need to sleep? Like, do I need to pick up anything kind of thing? Like, oh, do I have class today? When should I train? I think about all these other things than actually bodybuilding itself. So
Yeah.
it's almost easier because you're so busy mentally that you don't feel the prep as much.
Yeah, that's my point. Like just doing it rather than overthinking about it, right? I remember when everything. What's up, Ken?
Hey, what's up, guys?
And
Can you
hey,
Yeah, what's up, brother?
hear me?
Hey, guys. Been a minute, man. It's good to be here.
It's been a long time, man. Were we talking about like almost like the less you think about prep because the older you get, you have more responsibilities. It becomes easier because you're distracted and you're not like every day you wake up, you're like, okay, now let's get in it. You just take the check-ins, you go do your job, you go take care of your kids, you take care of your dogs, you get some work done, and you're just in routine rather than obsessing about it, right? We used to sit there and watch Kevin Levrone videos all day, and yeah, let me see who won it. Whereas you look at your phone now and you don't see everything bodybuilding, right? It's the opposite. You see other shit on there because
yeah, bro.
I
You
don't
go on
know.
my TikTok feed and I have a bunch of baby stuff, little baby fucking shit,
Exactly.
like little like signs of their age and stuff, like over time how they're progressing. That's what my shit looks like. The best diaper brands.
Exactly my point. Zalo. Oh
man.
shit.
Damn, look
Zalo
at this.
from the caves.
This is a reunion of the highest order, man.
Damn.
What's up?
From Syria,
How you guys
straight from damn Syria.
doing?
Like I got so many messages about Zayd to the point that it was starting to annoy me. I'm like, bro, message him, bro. I'm like, message him. I mean, shoot me. I don't know, but Zayd was probably getting messages too. I'm like, you're gonna have to message him, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, he'll come back on, man. He'll come back on. He's okay. He's good.
For the audience, I had to assemble the Avengers. I said, guys, it's been a while. I'm about to come on the pod, but I gotta come on with the OG crew, man.
Yeah,
So OG crew, they responded, So it's good to see everyone, dude. It's good to see everyone.
Likewise.
Shit. Sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes all it takes is just. I always say like guy friendships are different, right? I remember like watching my ex. Girls sometimes take it personally, right? How come this girl didn't hit me up? But guys, if you're good, you're good. That's your boy. So if you have brothers, that's your brother. You don't necessarily talk to your brother every day, but he's always your brother. It doesn't change, right? So you could reach out to your brother after 5 months and nothing changed. He doesn't feel a way about you like, hey, yo, you've been too busy for me. Well, because we get it. Everybody's busy, right? It's like things just you pick off right, like none ever happened. Like it could be 3 years later, boom, you talk, you connect. It's like those 3 years never happened, right? It's just part of being an adult, bro. We just
Yeah, I just want to say the last time all of us were together, a lot of things have transpired since then. You know, Joe has become a father, so congratulations to
yeah.
Joe.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
Congrats,
Joe's a
yeah.
father. I've done my pro debut. We were talking about it for it seems like forever. That's been
Crazy,
completed. You know, Beatty is going to North Americans. He's in prep now. Look at that face. Look at that face.
I haven't seen that
Old
face in a
man
while.
face. Got cheekbones,
Yeah.
Hey,
got
that face only lasts 2 minutes. The day after the fucking show, he's fucking rounded out again.
Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy, right? Granted, it's in and out. It's like boom, and then it's out. It's insane how it works. I feel like Ken's face got sunken in, but Ken still has the wide face though.
He got
Right.
that jawline, dog. That's why.
Yeah.
Jawline.
It's the jaw.
that Nigerian jawline.
It's the jaw. Yeah, you're right. He got. I feel like Andrew got it. Blessing got it. Even
Yeah.
Quint got it. Yeah, the jaw don't go down. Yeah.
Toby has it too. Toby has it too. Yeah.
Nigerian jaw don't move. Okay, I see what's going on.
I get that Western white guy look where everything is
Yeah.
like I walk into a fucking saloon and shit.
I was so shocked. Joe's last update, I was like, I had to mess with him. I was like, Joe, are you like 3 weeks out, man? Your face
quick.
just like disappeared, bro. Like what
That's gone,
happened?
dog.
That was quick. That was real quick. Yeah, his
Yeah.
glutes are in too.
His body is
actually-
always like that. He always gets in shape quick.
I actually think for the first time, he didn't tell me it, but I think we kind of misjudged it a little bit because my body's doing things that it never normally does. Like I'm eating more food than I normally eat. I'm doing way less cardio than I normally do. So I think Justin's trying to adjust to what the hell's going on because, I'm getting conditioned very fast.
You also have a
Freddie-
shitload more muscle than you ever have either, too. So
Yeah.
your metabolism is fucking flying.
So for the audience, because we always talk, like we're in the locker room, we all know what's going on. But for the audience, like Joe, you want to just like give us an update, like where you are, like what show you're actually doing, just so people kind of have like context to what's going on with you and what your current weight is. Because I know you sent an update this morning, I saw on your story, but just give us a general overview of what's going on.
Pull it up.
Yeah, so we started prep 17 weeks out,
Yep.
and I'm currently pretty much 8 weeks out from Tampa Pro.
Okay.
The goal last year, before I even found out I was going to be a dad and everything, was to do the Tampa Pro and then Texas Pro. And we even wanted to do Legions, but they happened to move it. So I'm only going to do those two. And then I'm still going to go to the Olympia with the boys no matter what happens. But that's the plan. The dope part is I'm going to have my son with me at both shows. Ashley's making sure that I have my boy there. So
That's awesome.
that's pretty
man.
dope. Yeah, so I'm excited for that more than anything, to be honest. And then in Texas, all the boys are going to be out there, so it's going to be a hell of a way to end the season and stuff. But yeah, I'm currently, this morning I was 261. The lowest on the scale that I've seen is 259. My body does this thing in the middle of prep though, where like I get tighter as I kind of put on some size. So I'll stay the same weight around there for like a little while my body keeps dropping as far as my conditioning. So it's going really good. Like I said, I've never looked like this far ahead. As far as like just I saw a pop in my muscle. I'm not super flat yet, but I'm getting drier quicker. I'm handling way more food than I normally am able to handle. I'm only at 35 minutes of cardio, and by now I'm usually at least an hour minimum. So, and all I do is walk on the treadmill. Normally I have to do stairs and shit. So
I've noticed as you put on more muscle, because even myself, compared to the North Americans, I still did a cardio, but compared to the North Americans prep, my cardio was very, very. It wasn't as bad as years past, just because of the muscle you've put on. So that's amazing.
Yo, yeah, I'm about to shock the fucking crap out of y'all. So I haven't done 1 second of any kind of machine cardio. treadmill, not 1 minute of it. This whole prep.
Oh shit!
Walking the dogs, just walking 3 dogs.
just having dogs, bro. Like just because you got like cleaning up shit, breaking up fights, fucking like everything you could imagine. Yeah, walks and all that. Everything combined, you're burning so much fucking calories, bro. Just me fucking yelling. Just so it's like my body is like overworked just from the dogs. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I mean, that is better than fucking treadmill. Shit, you know.
I'm glad Beatty brought up the cardio thing because also one thing I want to mention is this is the first time in my whole career where I did an off season and a prep training only 4 days a week. So this whole prep, I've only worked out 4 days a week. I'll do cardio 5 days a week, and that's it. So I truly believe, you train hard enough and stuff, and you give your body the rest it needs. Like I think a lot of
way to drop.
a lot of it has to do with stress. When we work out, we're causing stress to the body. So all the inflammation, I feel like that holds water, that holds us from dropping in general. So I think that's another reason outside of the increased muscle mass and stuff that I think helped my physique a lot. Because, we're hard on ourselves. We're like, fuck, do I train hard enough? Do I train hard enough? Yeah. And I think a lot of us train too hard to 100%. The point where it's like, you're actually creating diminishing returns. And I think when you find that balance where it's like, well, I only know one way to train, and that's fucking hard. But if I give myself the recovery time, then I can keep training the way I love to train and then still get the benefit of the result, right? Without causing too much damage to the body. So that's another thing I've applied this season that I'm seeing a really good result from.
Bro, it's not in recovery. You don't realize this in your 20s. It's like you have to get to a certain age to allow yourself to recover. You don't understand recovery when you start. All you know is, right, all out. But like Joe said, some people can't hold back. Like we can't do let me leave 3 reps in reserves. Our brain can't. I've tried it. And then I watched the video and I'm like, bro, that's still failure. That's not, you know what I'm saying? So we can't do that. So we have to find a different way. You said you go 4 days a week. What I've done, I go 5 days a week, but my volume, I'm only giving myself 1 working set. That's it. So it might be 5 exercises, but only 1 working set, so my volume is cut in half, but everything is better. Less inflammation, recovery is better. It's just way better. So we usually, not everybody, but I'll say most of us, if you're going to compete, I would hope that you have that mindset. So I would say a lot of guys probably train too hard, and then without calling any names, I'm watching people not train hard and look better and beat me. And I'm like, there has to be something to this, like they're just recovering, right? Because we grew up on, you got to train like Branch and and it's like, there's a time and place, but there's also a time and place for fucking recovering, know? Yeah, so it's,
With that being said, I mean, Beatty, you're the host, so no one ever asked you this question. So like, I've been looking at your updates and you're looking pretty good. Like I feel like this is the most muscle you've carried per leanness, like how lean you are. So how's your prep been going? And for you're doing North Americans, right? You're going to qualify prior to that.
So I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do USA and North Americans. So
when is the USA's?
4 weeks before. So that would be 7 weeks. 7 weeks.
Before Tampa, I think 1 week before Tampa.
To be, I wasn't sure if I was gonna do USA that first because I felt like I needed time, not my body, but just there was so much going on. I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I'm mentally ready in the place. But because my body responded so well, I'm gonna do it. And I'm sorry, what was your question? How's prep going?
Yeah, because you're looking. Yeah. I feel like this is the like, just from me seeing you and since we've all been friends, I feel like usually you're like depleted. Like this is the first time you're carrying fullness, but you're still losing the weight as you're coming down. So I'm trying to find how your prep's going. Like what's changed outside of 3 dogs? What's changed?
For real, bro.
To be honest, like over the years, I'm almost getting like nervous to even say positive things about prep, right? Because it's going so well that I'm almost scared
Yeah.
to jinx it. You know, I almost don't want to tell people it's going well. People ask me, I'm like, it's just, you know, but it's almost like I'm trying to figure out exactly what's making such a big difference. But like as we all know about bodybuilding, it's never there's no magic tricks. It's small things. So when I break it down, it's such small things that you wouldn't think it would make a difference. Like we just talked about recovery, pulling back volume. Okay, great, you're recovering, but that alone, my body has changed so much. You know what I'm saying? So I think the biggest difference is I'm able to recover by not killing myself with a shit ton of cardio, which I thought I needed to do because my body wasn't flushing fluid properly, which would look like body fat. And then now you're pushing harder than you should because you look fat, but you're not fat, right? So then that creates a horrible conundrum. And then when your muscles are flat and not pushing against the skin, you look even more fat, even though you're lean. So
Yeah.
by the time you get to stage, you know you're lean because you saw yourself at certain phases where you're like, oh, I have no body fat, but you don't look lean. So how do you explain to somebody? No, trust me, I'm shredded, bro. Well, you don't look shredded, bro. Like, look at your, you know. So yeah, I think recovery is the biggest part, and this probably sounds like bro science, but mentally being in a good space, looking
Definitely
at
get that.
yeah, prep is fun. I feel like I'm a kid again. Prep is fun again, and it's not like this idea of I even I have to place a certain way, or I have to even pick a specific show. It's just get in shape and have fun while I'm doing it and bring my best, right? That's
It's
simple as
funny.
that.
It's funny you said that because during the New York Pro, I was talking with Sass,
Hmm.
and Sass was telling me that that's the biggest change he's had compared to before he stopped competing compared to now. Getting in shape was a lot easier this time just because of the mindset. Just like, wow, what a privilege to be able to do this. Like, because he stepped away, he was able to appreciate the opportunity to do it at this level that he's doing it now. And it's
Yeah.
like even the losses or the close calls that he's had, he doesn't in the past, that would be something that would crush him, right?
Hmm.
Mentally. But now he just sees it as just another step. So as you can see, he's been fresh and he's been able to keep going. He's been competing since Detroit.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's been able to keep going. So I think that mindset thing, there's something there that we all got to tap into, because I know for myself, come like 5 6 weeks out, I'm like, man, I can't wait to get this shit over with. So
Yeah.
there's definitely something about that mindset that I think we can all learn from. I know I'm trying to learn,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
things move forward. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a night and day difference having just a certain perspective on competing. Like it's still a blessing, bro. Nobody's forcing you to do this. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
But like you said,
I,
usually uh-huh. Go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead. Sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say I think we all make the mistake at a certain point where we start to look at it as a job. Like we want to do so well that it becomes a job more than what we originally started out as. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. Like last year, I was telling Paul that like after a while, I stopped enjoying it, and then this year is different because I have things to look forward to outside of bodybuilding. So it's almost like it's a hobby again, and I've really enjoyed this prep for that exact reason. And I put zero stress on myself. Like where I fall, I'm gonna fall. Once you accept that kind of like fact, so that's how it
Hmm.
is, and you just do it because you enjoy it and stop worrying about where you're gonna place, how like just enjoy because you can do it. Because I didn't even know if I could do it. Ashley's the reason I'm able to do this. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, yeah, for me, like you said, mindset, that's changed everything. This is the most fun I've had in like 2 or 3 years.
Having something outside of bodybuilding is so important, man, because Joe, just my personal experience, when we turned pro and, the stakes started to rise. And like for me, like my biggest nightmare was, where do I fall as a pro, once I start my debut. So like you guys know, my off season was like a very diligent off season. It was like balls to the wall from the off season all the way till now. And even I feel like I was telling Beatty at some point, I think we were talking like maybe 3 weeks out. I was like, mentally, I'm burnt, bro. Like after I'm done, I need to take like a step back and reevaluate, because if this is the way I need to treat bodybuilding, long term, it's not healthy. Long term, it's just like you can't just be like bodybuilding, bodybuilding, bodybuilding. Like there's other things to life. Like you got a relationship, you got a family, you got other things. And when you can appreciate that stuff and then you come back to bodybuilding, it's sort of like, okay, this is something that I'm privileged to be able to do at this level. Because after a while, like that thought of like this is a privilege at this level, it goes away. It's like, damn, I need to place. There's money on the line. There's all this stuff. Like, what are people going to say online if I don't meet expectations? Like, I need to make this happen.
Well, what you just said, what are people going to say? That's one of the biggest issues. It's also different. Let's say where you're at right now, right? You're at a point now where your name has blown up. So there's going to be a different level of online pressure, which is something that's different, which I don't really know about that. But what I can say is this pressure that we put on ourselves, right? That it feels real, right? Nobody actually gives a shit, right? So let's break it down. Your own girl, your own family, they only give a shit because you give a shit, right? Your friends, us, I care about your placings because I want to see you be happy. But here's the truth. If you told me, Beatty, I retire, I'm retiring. Why? Well, I'm not, it doesn't make me happy anymore. I'm miserable. I'm happy. I no longer give a fuck, right? So it's that nobody actually gives a fuck but you. And the reason other people give a fuck is because you give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
And let's go further. Even the people online, you think they really give a fuck about you? They don't give two shits about you. If you retire, they'll forget about you in 2 weeks. They're off talking about the next person, right? Not the fuck retiring. A person misses one season, nobody even remembers who the fuck they are. Bro. Oh, that guy. Oh, fucking. Oh, I forgot about I don't know, James or whoever. They'll forget about you just like that. So nobody actually gives a fuck. It's really nobody cares. So this pressure that you're feeling. Oh man, I have to. What are people gonna think? I got second call out. They're gonna. Nobody gives a fuck. So just relinquish that shit. It's relinquish it. Once you do well again, everybody loves it. But look at Patrick Moore. All of a sudden, like people love me. Oh yeah, I knew it. You got that classic. Okay, yeah. Now you knew it. Now he had the classic shape. A couple of weeks ago, he was horrible. He wasn't big enough. He was so. So it's like you got to relinquish that pressure. But it's easier said than done. Like I said, where you're at right now. It's probably crazy the amount of DMs and comments you see, especially on these pages. We're still human, and we're dieting. You're on drugs, so I know, Ken. You probably see some comments that you might not. It doesn't affect you long term, but in that moment, you kind of probably like irritated, like yo, I don't know. That's kind of right. There's some irritation, But,
yes. I mean, we've been. A lot of us have been groomed with social media at this point, so we know how to handle this kind of stuff. But there's some comments that you're just like, how is that even possible? Like, I think when I did New York, someone was like, he's got SEO in his arms. I'm like, my arms are like, they're not even a strong point. Like, how is that possible?
Bro, that's hilarious.
Well,
like my biceps is not even a strong point. Like, how is that? How do I have SEOs in there? It doesn't make sense,
I get so irritated, especially when I know somebody personally.
Yeah.
Somebody said that about Joe too, right?
I have oil all over my body. I'm gonna die in 5 years.
Bro,
I've heard it all.
It's all oil. I'll say, what part of his body do you see oil? Oh, look at his chest. Look at his shoulders. I'm like, what are you? Boy, this is called muscle, motherfucker. This is big dude. Like, what do we? Bro, somebody you can't even make. You don't make improvements. Oh, you don't work hard enough. Look at Regan. Oh, Regan, you don't work hard enough. This guy, he's lazy. We all heard about Regan's training. God forbid you actually make gains. Oh, it's too fast. You're gonna ruin your waist. You're fucking. Oh, look at your synthol. Bro, how can we win? No matter what you do, right? You're wrong.
Yeah,
you actually make gains like Ken and Joe. Oh, it's oil. He's gonna. Oh, be careful. You're gonna ruin it. You got to be like the '90s guys. The '90s, his body. Come on, bro. Like, let motherfuckers let people eat, bro. Let people, So this is why you can't take any heat to it because you're wrong. No matter what you do, Ken, you're wrong. No matter what you do, any of y'all do, y'all wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta relinquish it. You gotta just let it be what it is and understand that. End of the day, it's not real. None of it is real. The love isn't real. The hate isn't real. If it comes from your loved ones, then it's real. Like if I tell you, "Oh, Ken, you look good shit," we mean it. If I tell you should have been second, you should have beat Patrick. I'm not being biased. That's really what I saw, and I'm happy to see other people say it, like Fuad,
Yeah.
because I'm like, okay, so he's not your friend. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, he knows you obviously, but so it makes me like, yeah, see, I'm not tripping. Like, are you watching the same shit here? Like,
It's so
so
Beatty, it's so weird because even like Legion, like even their pages, like all the posts they've been having, I seem to be like the forefront of most of these posts. Like me, Antonio, it's like, bro,
yeah,
I'm like fifth place. Like it's like I just wish, honestly, I just wish I had a chance to compare to
that's
Patrick
it.
and Bruno. And if they gave me that chance and I came fifth, I would have been okay with it. But I never even got the opportunity. Not in the first call outs, during prejudging. Obviously, I wasn't there in prejudging. And in the finals, they never really gave me that opportunity because I really felt like that, and Bruno's a nice guy, but like I would have exposed Bruno. He's a little bit narrow, right, compared to
Yeah,
Patrick, myself, even Tonio. And size wise, I kind of felt like size wise, I was kind of
the
the
biggest.
biggest guy, like,
Yeah,
Yeah, you
in
carried
that,
your own for sure.
yeah, in that
yeah.
first call out. So I just wish I had that opportunity. But again, this isn't the first time this has happened to me. It happened to me in Nationals 22. So it was kind of like just like a deja vu moment all over again. Because when I come out, usually I'm my name, right? My first name. I'm the first guy to always come out. Like even in the posing rounds, the group comparisons, I'm always the guy on the left. And like I feel like when you're on the left, extreme left, you're at the biggest disadvantage. It's almost like they don't even look at they don't look at, if you're on the extreme right, at least the judge is looking kind of this way, right? Left, no one
That
remembers
affects
you
you.
unless
Yeah.
unless you're a big name, unless you're a
Okay,
big name.
okay. So speaking about big names, I remember. I don't know if I was talking to you or somebody else, but when when I saw how big you got off season, boom, I'm like, oh wow, he put on a lot of muscle. Then I remember that video where you took off your shirt and it was like fucking Kai Green in the in the fucking legend. Then I was like, yo, Ken is gonna do really well, but the only thing I'm nervous about is the name thing because Joe at Cal, he comes out. Me and Zayd was like, oh, what the fuck? And Zayd was like, yo, I told you, I think he got. I'm like, yo, I see it, but then he doesn't get the look, right? So
Oh,
that's what I
man.
was scared of Ken. I was like, Ken might not get a look because the hardcore people know him, but he's not a name, right? Now, then I start seeing your name buzzing. I'm like, oh, people talking about him. Okay. I'm like,
Mhm.
this is great. This is gonna help. But but then it still get overlooked. So I'm like, damn, what the
Well,
I'm
That's
like,
listen.
damn.
why
So I was really happy with that team sneak past blessing and making it to the top five. That was really good
Oh,
because he
bro.
really didn't deserve to be in the top five at finals. The guy was melting. So at least
Yeah,
it's good to see that you beat an Olympian. That's a pretty good deal, man. I mean,
Hey,
yeah,
if they would have put
yeah.
blessing ahead of Ken, the internet was already going crazy. That would have been insane. With all due no disrespect to blessing, blessing is
no,
a
of
nice
course
guy.
I,
not, man.
I'll
Yeah.
give you guys some. I'll give you guys some inside info. So when I got there, with the finals, that's why I think Legion is probably one of the best shows I've ever attended. The promoter Chris Mines is really good. He pulled me aside during finals, and he was like, "Hey, you know, I actually seen online like what's been going on, and I actually told the judges like I think we need to take a second look." And in fact, one of the other judges, Al, told me at the end of the show because he was the one that was sitting on the left to me, and when the I guess his score got dropped. in the prejudging because I never even got to make it. So he also requested a rejudging of the finals. So two people had put in a request. That's why if you watch the stream, they literally rejudged pretty much prejudging and finals in the finals round. Like they redid the entire thing. Like maybe not the entire thing, but like fourth place down, we kind of all had to like fight for it again. Like the top three, they kind of left them to their own devices. So, Chris, the promoter, I think just the fact that a promoter could even do that, and say like, hey, like there's an injustice going on here. Like this is my show. I don't want it staining my show. You guys need to kind of at least take a look.
I like that.
I want to give him credit for that, because I'll be honest, like the prejudging, you keep a straight face. After prejudging was done, bro, I was like, man, this is I'm all the way here. I got to the hotel and it's just me. And I'm just looking around, and just like, man, the fuck did I come here?
This is one thing you have to understand about bodybuilders. Just because somebody's sportsmanlike and professional doesn't mean they don't feel the same feelings, right? Everybody's not gonna flip out, take off their medal, and do all of this shit. But make no mistake, bodybuilders are competitive people. You don't want, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. Like,
let me be the first to tell you though. What the fuck reaction you get in your head?
Bro.
What the fuck?
I mean, Joe kept his composure really well.
Pull my fucking trunks down and just walk off stage.
Now, Joe had a smile on his face, but it's a different kind of smile. There's two different kind of smiles.
Yeah,
you know,
you're in the pro league, you carry yourself with professionalism. That's it.
Yeah, because you kind of know backstage, right? You kind of see everyone backstage, and you kind of know, right, before you even get up there. So backstage, when I was like, oiling up and everything, I saw everyone. I saw the reactions I was getting from people too. So I was like, okay, I know I'm on. I know I look good. And then when that first call out happened, I was just standing there like this. I was like, man, just take me home, man. Just take me home.
The whole time, I'm not even kidding. I remember stepping off stage after prejudging, and I was just like, man, I can understand how people just go out and go fuck off this diet shit and go eat whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah. Well, okay, but like,
yeah,
like Ken said, what you said? Say.
Some people won't wait until after the show to eat the junk food. They're right after prejudging. Oh, I'm not in the top 3. Let me just eat whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
That's what Joe was saying, which is true.
It's like, well, fuck you. What do I have to lose? I'm already losing.
What makes it
for this one?
Now? What makes it worse is that if there's a difference between thinking you look good and knowing you look good, right? Like Ken said, you from backstage. Oh shit, okay, yo, good shit, man, good. You step on stage, you come out because Ken came out slow too. Everybody like, oh, woo, like you feel it, and then you still don't get right. It's one thing if you're the loser, it's all in your head. You're like, you think you look good, but everybody's kind of like, okay, cool. Yeah. But everybody's feeling you, like you're like, whoa, yeah. You hear the commentators like, who's this guy? Yeah, like Kai Green is like, whoa, yeah. And then you still don't get, that's what makes it weird, Like I said, when Joe came out and it's kind of like, whoa, yeah, he's the most muscular, but like, woo, you hear the buzz and shit. And then it's like, you didn't notice any of that? Y'all didn't see all that shit? Y'all didn't see all that shit going on? The connection, the fucking, like, what the fuck?
You see my upper chest on the...
I'm like, you completely... Yo, you completely missed that 30 seconds of like just like muscle, right? I'm like, but sometimes I can't even, I don't know, man. It's a hard job. At least they rectified it to some extent. Yeah. I think that deserves some respect to say, okay, we missed it. I think you have to respect that at least to say that, okay, we missed it. Let's try to get it right. As long as you get it right, which I could disagree with the final placing, but at least you rectified something to some extent.
There was an attempt. Yeah. That's what I said. That's why I'm like, I'm not too hard pressed on it. Like usually when something like that happens, the chances of you going past fifth is very, very minimal. It happened to Jordan Hutchinson too. It's more like, okay, we dropped the ball here, so shows moving forward, we got to look out for this guy type of thing, And then I think even Jordan, his last show with Texas,
Sure,
he came
yeah.
like second or third or something like that. I think Nathan Epler, it kind of happened to him a little bit too at one point, So it's kind of like, yeah, I get that. The only thing that's a little bit bummed for me, I knew that Legion would have to be the stopping point because looking at the schedule, there's just no shows on the U.S. side that is close to Legion. After Legion, it's done. So I knew that would have to be the stopping point. So I was a little bit bummed because I was hoping New York would be that show, right, to kind of make my name for myself, and Legion. That way, I have a fair shot, like 100% fair shot. I've made my name, but it didn't kind of pan out that way. So, it's kind of like we kind of have to wait till the next round, when we step on stage again. But for now, we kind of have to shut things down because it's just way too long. Even if I was to say, okay, let me just bite the bullet and try and keep going, right? Let's say we went to Tampa or we went to Texas and maybe I won one of those shows. What am I going to do at the Olympia? Like you've maxed out everything at that point just to win a show. If you've been going since January, for most of us at prep. So it's kind of pointless, So I don't know how guys go the entire season, honestly. Like,
They're crazy.
Like what is, yeah. Like what's the end goal at that point? Because even if you make it to the Olympia, like what does your Olympia prep really look like? You can't really give it 100%, from a anabolic standpoint, from mental standpoint, you're probably dead at that point, like mentally, physically, your body hasn't recovered for an entire year. So, it's just kind of like we're kind of new in this sport, me, a lot of us on this pod. So it's like, just take your time, come in next season, and hopefully next season, I want to win a show next season. That's this whole first call out stuff. I'm not buying it, man. I want to win a show. I want to win a show. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But overall, I can't complain about the rookie debut. I think what we set out to do, and kind of trying to find out like where I stand in this league. I think I kind of got my answer. So I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay with how things ended.
The cool thing that I liked about your journey so far was you took the time to build that pro level foundation, and you have the size. So like that time you took off, you don't need to do that again. You gave yourself the time to get to that size, and now just kind of like what I had to do this year is just you don't have to push those extremes anymore. Now you can just chisel things out, create a body that's quality over just the size now, and you really will etch out something special. And like I said, you don't need the same amount of time to do that anymore. So you'll be able to compete more often, more frequently and stuff. You won't have to wait these long gaps to remind people who you are again and stuff,
Right.
Yeah. That's what I figured too, because I was like, let's take the time now, because every year you take off as a pro, like what is the average lifespan of a pro? It's typically maybe 10 years. 10 years if you're lucky. So every year you take off.
I don't even think it's that much for a lot of people, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So every year you take off, you're kind of shortening that time span. So I was like, let's do it now, so that the next couple of years we don't have to do it anymore, and we can just keep competing, year after year. Because I'll be honest, guys. I mean, if things are looking good, we're just going to stay within striking distance. Things are looking good. I may enter one of the later shows. I'm even going to throw in my hat for an invitation to the Arnold. I don't think they'll let me in. They will let me in, but we'll try.
You'd be surprised, man.
We'll see.
Because there's no real rules, man. Because like they'll say things, but it doesn't apply. What's the Horse MD got invited to the Arnold? Why? I mean, right there's no
Carlos.
stats there. Yeah,
Carlos
you
got
see, yeah.
invited.
So it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's basically they think it's a good fit, which I think they might find it a good fit. Actually, they might find it a good fit. Yeah. So yeah, that was fun, man. This season so far has been pretty fun. I think just watching that was fun. I thought from at least from what I saw, I thought Toby looked pretty good, man. I thought he could have been tighter, but
Yeah.
I thought he looked pretty good. Am I the only one who thought that? I didn't see anybody talk about him.
No, Toby. I talked. We got close. This is our first time we really got to meet. We went to Outback after, so I was with him and his wife's family.
Mhm.
So I was with them after the show. So Toby and I have gotten close. I think Toby is still very raw. I feel like Toby's still very raw, even compared to me.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things, like, even like, I know, like, if you watch the stream when he was doing his, and I told him about that when he was doing his front relax, he was on his tiptoes, and he was like, it was like he was flying. I'm like, bro, you don't want to do that, bro. Like, stop that, And then, just size wise, I think just a little bit more size, and then the conditioning. But once he gets those things, man, Toby is dangerous. I feel like he's definitely going to be on the Olympia stage in 2 years, minimum 2 years. Like, he's not missing anything. He's not missing anything.
He looked good. Yeah. I thought Tonio was pretty lights out, man. I thought Tonio was the combination. He looked a lot bigger, but similar to Keon, he looked more aesthetic now that he's bigger, actually. I don't know. Did anybody think that? His shape looked, his sweep. Yeah.
Backstage,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm usually 3D, but Tonio was freaking 3D, bro. Like,
4D.
That's what I remember me and Paul saw Tonio backstage at the cow. Like, well, fuck. Well, this is his show.
Well,
fuck.
But the funny part is when he's in his hoodie, he looks like a college football player. And then he takes off the hoodie, and then he's like, "Oh, this is no collegiate football player. This is something else."
His shoulders were just like fucking round. It was like that, it was like rounded, He was just so 3D backstage. Like, honestly, the Gilco doesn't even do it justice, because I was standing right next to him, and I was like, usually I'm the 3D guy, so I'm 3D. I looked at him, I was like, man, there's levels to this 3D, he's
40 and shit.
Hey, man, like skin is so important. Like, down to the complexion and like tightness of the skin, it's a big difference. Like, he got that perfect gold bronze complexion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has the perfect amount of like darkness, but in the tan accents.
Phil is like that too.
Exactly.
Phil's back. That's why I look crazy.
100%. Phil, Sean Roden. There's like a sweet spot right there that, it's not like you're so dark that it reflects, but you're not too light. It's like a perfect complete, and he has that. Some people have that.
And there's something to say about his demeanor too. Like, he's so chill. Like, even during the show, maybe because he knew he was winning, but even during the show, he was just like
helps.
He was just like hanging out. He was
having a good time.
Having a good time, bro. Having a good time.
That man having a blast, man. He having a blast. At the cow, he's smiling. He's being nice to everybody, bro. I remember I like snuck up on him. I was like, "Hey, bro, yo, well, what do you do, ballet or some shit?" And he's like, "Oh, yo, what's up?" But the whole time he's like just smiling, chilling. Like he was talking to random people like random people in the hotel coming up to him, asking stupid shit. Hey, what do you do, bro? You do security? Like, okay, you're like, yeah, I'm a fucking bodyguard. But yeah, he looks he looked insane. I thought he looked insane.
I mean that just shows you, like, there's no stress. You know what I mean? Some people they're working themselves mentally backstage. They're pacing back and forth. I saw Felix back there. I could tell Felix was a little bit nervous. He's walking back and forth with his headphones. He's like going out. I'm like, And Tony was there just chilling, like you're raising your cortisol, and this guy is just, he's just getting harder,
He's getting better.
just chilling,
Okay.
yeah.
That-
So,
Well, okay. Speaking about, we started the episode talking about like bodybuilding and not being so obsessive over it,
Yeah.
and just having other things on your plate. Tonio got kids. He works with kids with like, I don't know, football programs and all type of shit. Like you could tell. Hey, Kane, go to bed. How you doing? You could tell like he has other responsibilities and things to focus on. So bodybuilding, Kane, go to bed. So bodybuilding, he just gets it done, and I think it makes a huge difference. I noticed that with Regan as well. The whole demeanor, like I'm like, Regan he's just chilling. He's like, yeah, not a big deal. I'm gonna go here, go to Canada. I'm gonna come back to Vegas. I'm gonna have a little workout here. Their whole mindset and demeanor, bodybuilding is just another day. They're not making it this thing, right? Because let's be real, what really changed for you between off season and prep? It's the same fucking food, same everything, same. So you're still doing cardio, so it's not like this big difference. So don't treat it like it. Just another day of life. That's it. And I think those people do really well because they're not making it such a big deal.
I think most high level bodybuilders, when you really get to know them, to be honest with you, a lot of them are like that. Bonac is like that. Yeah. Nick, as structured as Nick is kind of like that. When you really think about it, a lot of high level bodybuilders, because there is a relationship between stress and putting on muscle. I feel like the guys who they nickel and dime every single minutia of detail to try to be perfect. Those are always the skinny guys. No offense. That's just what I see.
I think I speak for us all when we're measuring our rice during prep and say it's 150 grams and you put it down and it says 152. And the fact that you don't change it to 150, that says a lot about where you are in this sport, bro.
Yeah.
It's always, but it's always the people.
Fuck you.
Like Ken said, it's always the people who don't actually look the part or get it done that obsessed about it. It's like training, right? We don't have an issue with science. It's just the people who are obsessed with every millisecond of the rep. They're never getting results because they're overly focused on the wrong thing. Same thing. I've seen videos of people like, no, it has to be 150 on a dial. But those are not the people winning the shows. It never is. If Tonio puts 150 and it's 152, Tonio isn't taking off, two, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's one of those things, same way Martin, do you take out Crystal Light? You're like, no, Crystal Light's to the show. And it's like, doesn't mean you have to do that, but it's like, he's not obsessing off of sucralose. Like, if you're in shape, sucralose isn't making you fat. Like, that's just not how it goes, So, I don't know. It's one of those things. Nick talks about getting more relaxed, right? As he became a better bodybuilder, he's getting more relaxed, not less relaxed. So.
I was going to say that when you brought up Nick. I was like, I don't think he started out that way, but I think you come to realize real fast. Like you said, when you nickel and dime everything, it's like, why? It's not going to change anything other than just stress you out for no reason. It's like people that say they suffer from anxiety and stuff. They're worried about a future that doesn't exist. Like you're worried about shit that it's not even guaranteed or nothing like that. Like, so what the fuck?
You don't get your meal at 3 p.m. Like, oh, I got to eat my meal at 3. Like, bro, get it at 4. You'll be fine. Like, it's not going to kill you,
Bro, Roman Fritz is down to the gram on each and every fucking meal. He's never 401 or 402, 400, And you see, and let me stop.
Yeah,
I say nothing.
Why are you saying nothing?
You gotta roll with the punches and just it's just another day, man. Without telling the full story, but so I'm in a rental right now because I totaled my car, right? So to add insult to injury, my rental got towed last night, right? And then I see it in time, but it's too late. So I'm like, yo, how much for me to get it off that thing? You're like, if we take it over there, it'll be 500. But right here, 300. They're just trying to hustle money. I said, no problem. Give him 300. Do I want to pay $300? No, I don't fucking want to pay $300. But it's too fucking late. It happened, right? And the people, I see a girl crying, oh my God, get my car. I'm like, I'll be honest with you. You doing all of this, they just gonna charge you more. They don't give a fuck about your feelings. Pay them, get your car, or cry all the way to the compound and pay them $1,000. You know, or a couple other guys are like, oh, I know you mad right now, bro. I said, no, not really. It is what it is. I'm not supposed to park here. I got told. You know, be mad for what? What's gonna change? Am I gonna get my $300 back if I'm upset? No. Like, we work so we can have money to afford things, and I pay. I got it back. I won't do it again now, right? It worked, right? So just little things like that. You don't obsess about it, or you spoil your food at, like, say, you spoil your food at the gym. What are you gonna do about it? You gonna eat it, or you gonna go home drop? Like, you gotta make, you know, you
gotta pick it off the floor and fucking eat it.
Yeah, or you're gonna sit there and cry about it, or you're gonna go have a fucking go have Chipotle. You can, but it's a choice, right? So we could sit there and cry about it, or we could keep it moving and just understand that you roll with the punches. It's never that serious, right? It's as big as you make it. So you backstage shaking and gyrating, that's not gonna make you any better. Relax. You can't do any more cardio. You can't. You know how people pump for an hour long? I'm like, bro, stop pumping.
Bro, speaking about the pumping, dude. All right, I got a story for you. Guys. New York Pro, like, we got there. We got on stage like 15 minutes. It was quick. I had no idea. But dude, William Bonac was pumping from the beginning of the show. Midway, Bonac was pumping throughout the entire show, bro.
The fucking Stefan always pressure in the muscle, pressure. He's always talking about the pressure.
But here's the thing: he was getting harder as he was doing it. Like, the entire show, bro. Like from backstage, like before we got. So he didn't have bands. They didn't have bands or anything for us. Mm-hmm. So I was just back there with a couple of bands, and he's like, "Hey, can I use one of your bands?" And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." He's like, "Hey, don't eat too much, eh?" So I was like, "Yeah, I'll eat too much." He's just like pumping all day, bro.
Perfect Bonac action, by the way.
Keep talking like that, Ken. That's just making me smile.
That was a perfect Bonac action too. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
yeah,
I was like, damn, bro.
Hey, have you ever pumped yourself to the point where you're out of breath when you're about to go on stage?
That's the worst. That's why
I did that. I actually did that at USA's, and I was like, "Oh shit!" About to go on, I was like, "I have to control my gut somehow." What the fuck?
No, that's the scary part. That's why if I pump too early, I lose the pump, then I get flat. But if I pump too close to the stage, I can't control my breathing. Even if you're not a nervous person, right before the stage, your heart rate does go up a little bit. So if I'm already breathing and I go on stage, I couldn't control my waist. And I'm like, fuck, I can't control my weight. And you feel it. You're like, I'm laboring. That's the worst case. And I've seen people sweating and out of breath as they're walking up. They're just doing push-ups right before they go up. And I'm like, I don't think it's a good... Yeah. Maybe Bonac could do it, but I can't.
Bro, I was shocked. He was doing sit-ups, bro. He was doing sit-ups before he even started pumping. Like, he was doing crunches backstage. I was like, damn. For most people, don't do that. For Bonac, it just makes him harder. He was just getting harder and harder. But for most people, you don't want to be doing that. You know, I was like, damn. I was just in awe. Like, God.
You see, I feel like if you do a few most musculars and a few back doubles, you're gonna get harder and harder.
That's all I do. I just pose on the line. You know,
Nick says he doesn't pump up, right?
No, he just poses.
Doesn't pump up. Yeah, see, that's why. No. I mean, honestly, that's all you really need.
Nick doesn't even.
I think
he doesn't even like lay down. He was just sitting on a chair the entire time. You know, most of us will lay down, elevate our legs. Nick he just sat on a chair the entire time. Literally, he didn't even lay down. He just sat on a chair.
Oh, and if I do that, my ankles get a little swollen. If I
sit down here. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. That's I've never seen that. Imagine just watching somebody just sit down on the chair like this for like an hour.
Literally, he just sat on the chair the entire time. I was like, wow. As an amateur, like, you hear, oh, you're supposed to do this. But you get to the pro ranks and you realize everyone's doing something different. I was like, wow. I was just, he's just different. It's just very different.
Yeah. Also, Stefan's guys.
Nick's sitting in a chair here, and then Bonak's doing crunches over there. You know, it's just like
we all got our
what do
things.
you do?
We got our way. Fucking dark chocolate.
When it comes to Stefan, he carbs them up pretty heavy, but he also sodium loads them pretty heavy. So if you have enough carbs and sodium, you could get a crazy pump probably. You know.
Yeah.
Martin looks so pumped up there, bro. Martin looks like he had a full body workout with fucking. I mean, he looks too full on that stage sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
All right.
That kind of cost him a little bit on the last show he did. He was a little too full.
I thought so. Yeah. Now it looked freaky though. I'm not gonna. He looked big. It
was freaky. Yeah.
But the lines were gone. I don't. Man, I don't think you need to be that full. Like in general, I don't think anybody needs to be that full. Especially if you're
I honestly think I was gonna say I think you're actually gonna benefit from being like 90% full and more conditioned every time.
Aceto always says shoot for 90%, don't shoot for 100.
Yeah, see,
you know, because if you shoot for 90 and you go past that, then you get close to 100. If you shoot for 100, you go past that. Now you're in deep waters, my friend.
Yeah,
you ain't coming back. You ain't coming back.
107% full.
Yeah.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
Yeah,
Zid, I wanted to
ask.
ask.
You go first.
Yeah, I wanted to ask too because we've all been going on updates like before we transition into like looking at the shows. Like Zayd, I know we're getting closer to you actually, you know, starting some kind of prep too. So like what's the update with you so far with your off season and everything?
Off season I've been doing great, man. I'm focusing on heavy training and lower volume these days. I'm around 253. Still
holy shit.
Yeah.
That's big, man.
Yeah, you look lean. Yeah.
Leaner.
Your audio sounds a little low.
A little low.
That sounds very muffled.
Where are you on your phone? You're on your phone, right?
Yeah. Well, let me go change my headphones. I'll be right back.
Or maybe no headphones. You could probably hear. Like, if you turn off the headphones, it probably sound better. Because I think the headphones is picking up the mic. Possibly, but yeah, 253. That's because Zayd looks big at like 235. Zayd looks big, so 250.
Yeah,
that's gonna be huge.
He's still lean. Like I saw one of his
you guys
he posted like a
now?
photo.
Oh yeah,
that's good.
Way better.
That's
Yeah, he's always lean. Yeah, he's always lean. Let me see. Have you posted something recently? Let me see if I can find something.
It was on his story. I think he was working out with someone. And then he posted like in Venice where they used to do that with Cormier and the guys. Like I was like, holy shit, he looks good. I don't know, looks good.
I can't hear you now. Fuck, because my volume is low.
Oh, good. Hold up. Let me pull this up.
Let me just grab my headphones. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you good. Did you recently post on stories?
Nah, it's been a while. Couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, but he looks big as fuck. I missed him. I was like, wow, bro, you put some fucking weight on finally. It is really good.
Yeah, 253 is solid, bro. That's fucking solid.
Yeah,
honestly.
This was a few weeks ago.
May 23rd. Yeah,
he stays in shape.
Yeah, the 250s. Yeah, that's good. That's really good,
man. Shout out Zaylo. I kind of want to name one of my dogs Zaylo.
That's a dope name.
You know, my first idea was to name them like gear shit, like Halo, Winnie, and then I'm like, that's kind of crazy. I don't want to name them fucking gear. Trend, imagine his name Trend.
I can hear you now.
You can hear us?
Perfect.
All right,
Name your dog Ace. Ace is a cool name. Trend Ace.
Yeah. Hey, so this is actually a little Photoshop. You know the aspect ratio. I tilted it for me and Zayd.
I remember it. I was like, this motherfucker really posted that shit.
With your iPhone, you can do this with the ratio. I want to make sure we look bigger.
I was like, nobody else notices that Beatty's left arm is significantly bigger than his right.
Joe said it first. Joe was like, "Yo," because I remember showing them. I showed it to them regular, then I showed it. Look, I'm a cheat. I didn't do it as much as I showed you, but I still left in like it's like 10%. It looked too obvious. I went. Oh man! All right, let's see if let's just go over what came before Legion. I'm sorry,
Before
Cal?
or Cal, then Legion, then Toronto's today.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh damn! I forgot. It's going on as we speak.
Yeah, Sass is really good in that one.
Yeah,
wait, can Regan stop? Can Regan stop Sass? Oh, so Sass looks better than Regan, basically.
So
Yeah.
my personal
He's
opinion,
harder.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's harder.
Yeah,
He's more lines.
Regan doesn't look that hard right now.
No, he doesn't. He looks off.
I thought he looked softer than the last
New
show
York
too.
New York and Cali. Yeah, he
did look good in Cal. I was okay with the decision at Cal, to be honest. But today, they should give it to Sauce.
Somebody said that. Somebody said Regan is going to be really confident, and maybe he might be too confident, right? Because I mean, Sass almost beat Andrew because Andrew was off. So if he feels confident enough that he doesn't feel like he has to come try to match his condition, he could slip, and they might be right. They might be right.
Isn't that what always happens though? Samson at the Arnold, Derek very close to Pittsburgh. You know, everyone thought he had it in the bag. That's what always happens for some reason. When you're like, everyone says, "Oh, you have this show in the bag." You end up not really, there,
100%.
right? You end up not really there. I don't know why that happens.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. If I've beat a guy 2 times prior,
you're gonna be confident.
I think I got it.
Good point.
Fair. Good point. Good point.
That's the thing about mindset. It's not like you're cheating on your diet. It's not like you're saying, I'm gonna have McDonald's. It is just a simple mindset shift of how hard you're pushing cardio to, just little things. Maybe going out to, you're not eating outside food, but just even going out, with your girl to a restaurant when you could have been at home resting, maybe little things you did.
Regan looks a little spilled. If you see, even like his midsection it's not, it's almost like, it's not like flat washboard like it typically is. You see it there. Yeah, he looks like he may be a little overcarbed. He may have spilled a little bit because I haven't seen Regan's midsection ever like that.
I've never seen that. Yeah.
Is this finals or prejudging?
Prejudging. I don't think Regan is going to win the show because this isn't like 4K footage, and if you can see this big of a difference in like not that high quality footage, that means if it's like Gilco, there's going to be a big difference.
Yeah.
So, and he doesn't look. Mm-hmm.
And there's something to be said. Like Sass is a guy that can go show to show to show. Regan, New York, Cali. This is the third one in what 4 or 5 weeks. So he's a bigger body too. Like the bigger bodies. I don't think they last as long on like show to show to show. But to me, it looks like he spilled over from what I'm seeing here. It just seems like he's very carved up just based on his midsection and like just the water that I'm seeing.
Yeah, and the crazy part is when you're not sharp, especially when your midsection isn't how it usually is, he actually looks smaller than because the size difference was actually more pronounced the last show, right?
Yeah.
He's a bigger person, of course, but because the condition and the waist isn't where it usually is, he actually doesn't look that much more muscular than Sass if you compare it.
No,
that's true.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously Regan at 100% wins the show, but that's bodybuilding for you, When have you seen a 6-footer do more than 2 shows and look better or just as good 3-4 shows going in? They don't even try. They usually don't even do 4 shows, let alone get better or maintain it. It's not a thing,
Yeah, it's very hard for a big body like that just to go show to show to show. It's difficult,
Right. The biggest Nathan's probably like 5'8" though, but still the biggest person that consistent probably is Nathan though, at least from a weight perspective, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay,
what did Eric get?
From this video, he doesn't look super hard.
I think he was in the top 5. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he was top 5.
I think he's top 5 for sure because looking at the lineup, he looked like he was top 5.
I think he was 3rd or 4th.
7?
Yeah, I think he was 4th.
I think he was 3rd or 4th. Yeah.
I think he's gonna come in 3rd because one of these guys would have to beat him. I don't see them beating him.
Aaron Guiley and that guy's won a couple of shows. Shorter guy. He's won a couple. He's dangerous.
Hussein.
That guy on the extreme right. The guy on the extreme right. Yeah, he's dangerous, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if Eric will be able to beat him. Yeah, I don't know if Eric will be able to beat him, but I think Eric can make top 5 here.
If Eric's posing was better, I think he would beat him. But his posing is not very good. His rear lat spread didn't even spread it. I don't know what happened with that one, but yeah, that's where he's dropping the ball right now.
He looks confident when he poses, but the execution isn't there.
No.
Yeah. So
I think he should drop the theatrics and just go straight to posing.
You know what? Honestly, I feel like sometimes he does have a posing coach. I feel like sometimes the posing coaches overdo it, right?
Yeah,
and,
they focus on everything else but the mandatories themselves because they're just trying to add some spark to your shit.
Yeah,
I've seen some of these like posing coaches work with people, and it's overdone. First of all, it's too much things to remember. Nobody's gonna remember all of that fast, and I don't think they should be trying to. I remember Compton literally was like, "Okay, if you lose your waist in this pose, nothing else matters. So you're trying so hard to flex your glute right now. Once you lose your waist, nobody cares about that glute. So do this for me. Focus on your waist. Everything else is an afterthought." That's the best way to do it because it's like, okay, what's the most important thing in this pose that I cannot risk? Waist. If you're standing up, your glute is gonna. If you're in shape, your glutes from the side should be in regardless what you're doing with it, anyways. So instead of trying to flex your hamstrings and then push your hips out and then flex your butt, it's too much going on. And then you got the transitions. Eric does a lot of like movement in the transitions, which will help the poses flow if you're a really good poser. If you're not a really good poser, it just makes the posing harder.
It looks awkward. Yeah, it looks awkward.
Exactly.
And I know his posing coach, and that's his type of style too.
Exactly. I was trying to say that without saying it.
No, I mean there's nothing wrong with it. Like,
But
that's the style of teaching posing.
What he needs, as he's still very new to bodybuilding. This is not a guy like some of us who were watching Kevin Levrone videos at 19 years old. Like this is a new world for him. So I think a guy like Eric, you need a posing coach that is militant on some hottie shit. Mandatories. I don't give a fuck about any like classic posing and any of that shit.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like a lot of posing coaches and all these guys try to make you pose like a Terrence Ruffin. I don't think most people need to be at that level of posing where you're like flowing from one shot to the next. Like you said, just hit the mandatories the way they should be hit properly, and then go from there. I'm no posing expert, but I know that I've been working with Sid, for the last 2 years, and that's what he's drilled into me. I can't pose like a Ruffin, but I can at least hit my mandatories the way they should,
right.
Which is the most important thing.
That's how you win shows. Did I even? Yeah. So what the fuck? So Paul knows this, right? I remember I've always been really good at routines. So I thought I was a good poser. I'm like, oh, my routines look pretty good, but my mandatories sucked. So it's like, well, are you trying to win shows or are you trying to make people go, wow, good posing? I'm trying to win shows. So so I remember posing one of my clients with Zayd, and then I would pose too. And then Zayd would tell me that. He was like, because Zayd got that hottie shit going on. He's hitting the fucking poses. He's not giving a fuck about all that extra shit. He's hitting it right. So he's like, yo, Beatty, you know you got 30 seconds, right? I'm fucking He's like, you got hit the pose. You got 30 seconds. I'm like, you know what? Good point. Like, but in my head, I'm like, my physique looks more classic. Let me flow it. Motherfucker don't give a fuck about none of that shit, man. You a super heavyweight. Go fucking pose. So Zadie, he'll get that pose. He'll hit it hard. He'll boom. Like he poses like he's Persian, and but it works like straight up, and it looks good, right? No, but none of the judges are like, Zayd, I wish you would have hit a 3/4 fucking bicep. They don't. Come on, they don't. So I think a lot of people,
I try to do my mandatories very well, and everything else, if it flows, it flows. I kind of don't give a shit. But the mandatories must be great every time you hit them. And honestly, I feel my weakness is not the flowing poses, is holding the pose for long. Especially side poses are like really hard to hold with the hand drop and your upper body straight. A lot of fucking cues you got to remember for a side chest.
But somehow, for some reason, when you hit the mandatories perfect, it kind of flows, right? Like if you look at Hadi pose, like he's not really transitioning anything crazy, but it flows.
He's just moving his arms to the in position. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Whereas like if you're gonna be like a poser that's fancy, you have to have mastered the mandatories first. Because Terrence can hit the mandatories properly. Yeah. That's the only reason. But let's stop trying to be like Terrence. Let's let Terrence be Terrence.
That's what I was saying too. Like I feel like not every physique. I feel like there's this thing now where everyone is trying to move towards that like kind of swan style posing. Not every physique fits that, like Joe is like, and this is something Tarek told me, I thought at least I'm in between, but like imagine Joe like hitting like Terrence, like hitting it perfect like Terrence. It's like the guy has a power physique, he doesn't need to do all that. You know what I mean? So it's like for some,
we've seen that happen. There was a couple of years. I feel like when I think with Arnold talking about posing, and the Arnold said they were going to judge posing, which of course they what they say isn't really what they mean. They're not judging the beauty of it, So I remember it was a handful of guys. I remember seeing Max Charles, Josh, the Australian Josh,
Leonardowitz.
Oh, they had the slow music and they're doing all of this shit, and I'm like, bro, I don't want to see Max and Josh hitting floor twisting poses. It didn't look good, right? Because they're not hitting it right, and it doesn't complement their physique, right? Mm-hmm. None of them had any business doing that. Cedric, that's how Cedric always posed. So it looks good, but even Cedric, he's not doing floor twisting poses. He's just moving slow and deliberate. That's it. But it's still powerful looking poses.
Dexter made it look good too.
Yeah. You gotta.
If you're Max Charles, just hit some most musculars, man. Those most musculars were crazy. They were crazy, dog.
And then some people have the awareness because when Phil got on the scene, Phil's waist was smaller. He was a smaller guy. You would see him do a couple of spins and this. But then Phil started realizing, I'm a big dude now, boy. Ain't none of that no more. Phil stopped doing all of that floor shit and all of that, R&B shit. He was like, nah, I'm big as shit. Fuck now. So he was able to catch it. So same with Big Ramy. I've seen Big Ramy do some flowing poses. And honestly, he moved pretty well. I'm not going to lie. But
he played the guitar in his routine one time. Do you remember that, Ron?
He's actually a good poser. I know people don't talk about that. Ramy could actually pose. But honestly, we still don't want to see Ramy get too freaky with it. We don't need to see
Ronnie did it best, bro. He said,
"That's
it."
Now that's a grandmaster poser right there, dog. Learn something from that, man.
It's like what
Yo, Rodney's the only one Olympia, man. The guy came out as Moses, bro. Moses with the 10 Commandments,
Talking about theatrics.
When you see Ronnie, Jay, or Dorian pose, right? You could say they're not like the best, but how else would you want them to pose? What else would you want them to do? That's it. That's all I want to see. Really, I don't need to see any other poses of flow for them. They're big as fuck and they're in shape. That's it. Just that's fine. They just hit the fucking poses and keep it moving. That's about it.
Here's a question from you guys: do you hit any pose on your knee? Because most of us don't really, really.
I don't drop it low at all. When I saw Nick do that shit where he squatted and then went left to right, I was like, my nuts would have split apart.
Nah.
That should look dangerous. That should look dangerous.
I may not come back up, Zed. I may not come back up.
No. Now, I don't plan that in, but I think my last routine, I hit like one. I might have hit a knee pose, but that was just in the moment. Sometimes I don't know what the fuck is going on. The music got to me. Like the Chris Brown guy got to me.
Oh yeah, your last routine was slow, right?
It was, yeah. My last couple routines were slow, but I don't want to go that slow anymore. I'm
getting big now. Really bothers me
What's that?
When they get down on their knee and they go like this.
Oh, they do the Milos. Yeah, they do the Milos. Yeah,
I
the Milos.
Fucking hate that one. I'm like,
yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
They do this one. They do this one.
I thought about changing the bulb.
Oh man, yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't think I believe in knee poses. I don't remember Bumstead even doing knee poses.
No, he does.
He does. Okay.
Yeah.
He did the back bicep one.
Okay.
And side chest. Also side chest, but on one leg.
That looks good though. That side chest looks good. Yeah. But he didn't. Even though he was classic, he never overcomplicated it. He was pretty simple, man. That goes to show you, even for classic, like there's a balance. I don't think you have to do anything crazy. All right. I think we covered everything, right? What are the
No. Number one thing. There's 4 of us on prep. Has anybody bought shit yet?
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if I can even talk about it.
Why is it illegal?
Okay.
So who want to go first?
I'll go first. So everyone has a thing during prep, right? I'm not rich enough to be buying cars. This prep, last prep, I think I told you guys I was on this like air fryer and like air fry. I bought like 6 air fryers or some shit.
Holy shit!
This prep, bro, I bought so much photography equipment. I just went down a rabbit hole, bro. I bought like 3 lights. I bought like lenses, like battery packs for dude. I bought a whole studio. A whole photography studio, bro.
That's that might be a good investment, though. That might be a good investment, actually, for sponsors and shit.
Yeah, those pictures be looking good. Those check-in updates.
That's why I started using all that stuff, because I'm like, damn, I bought all this, so it's like now I gotta start using them for like actual stuff. So like my interview with Juan Harris, I set up the lights and stuff. It looked good. Yeah. But I'm like, damn, like how did I acquire all this equipment? What happened?
You gonna start shooting weddings and shit?
Hey man, that's way better. It's way better than cars. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
That look. Hey, once you start doing checking pictures with those cameras, bro, it fucks it up because the amount of detail you see, you can't go back to your phone, bro. It's hard.
I only use the lights. I only use the lights in the back. Like you've seen my check-ins. I do the lights in the black backdrop, just to keep it consistent. Me personally, I'm not gonna do the check-in photos, upload it to my phone or my laptop, then send it to my. It's too much work. Like I just put the lights. I have a set of lights in the basement that just hits the black backdrop, and then I put that, and I use a tripod for my phone. Those lights are portable, so at least for Andrew, he can get to see what he needs to see. So even like I took those lights with me to Reno. It's like really portable lights, and I just hit it against the current, and then it you can see everything. So that's what I do. But to use a camera for check-ins, You may get that once in a while, maybe when I'm feeling myself, but I'm not going to do that consistently. No way, no chance.
I did that for like the last 4 weeks with Compton, just because my complexion is pretty dark, man. So even with the lights, I felt like my glutes looked fat. So I'm like, yo, if he cuts the food down anymore, I'm not gonna survive this. I was like,
So he did it out of this. He did it out of survival, guys. He's like, yo, I need some HD stuff, so this guy don't cut my food.
I'm like, I see, and he actually zoomed in. He was like, "What's that on your bicep?" I was like, "Oh, I got some cross striations." Just making sure you see it all. Is all. I'm not saying that. Just showing you the detail. You know? But I remember seeing Jonathan Withers. You guys remember that guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever happened to him?
I don't know if he's retired, but he has some injuries, man, some serious injuries, and I think it was his hips and knees. And I'm like, bro, you don't need to train legs, right?
You don't need to train legs. Yeah.
He bro, do extensions, curls, but in his head, you know how we are. In his head, he's like, oh, I'm like, I gotta be honest with you, that might be the best thing that ever happened to you. don't train legs. But anyway, I saw him like a week out, and this was back with like, I don't know, iPhone 8. So this is a while ago now, and he was so peeled, bro, for the Nationals. Even with the potato phone, he looked ridiculous, bro. And honestly, going to some of these pro shows, like the amateur ranks, I think condition is actually more in the forefront, right? Like you could win, you could beat people at the amateur ranks just off of condition, whereas in the pro ranks, you could be the most ripped guy in the show and get last place just because you weren't big and round enough. You know,
yeah. Bro, I've seen dudes with like no muscle win shows just because they're fucking peeled. Like, what the fuck?
Well, Bundy, he beat Bundy. Jonathan beat Bundy. At the pro level, does Jonathan beat Bundy at that size? Probably not. Eventually, if he gets bigger, he could. But Bundy was like 275 on stage, probably breaking that shit. You know? But Jonathan was peeled. His glute was like, we're talking about more than Lunsford. Like, we're talking about it didn't look, when he turned around, everybody got silent. It was like, you don't even know what to make of it, you know. So that was impressive, you know. Hopefully he competes again. I think he has some of the best legs I've ever seen in my life. You know, it looked fake. It literally looked like SEOs, but it's cross structure. Obviously, obviously he's not loading up his quads with fucking Synthol, but
that's the body part though that I feel like if you have too much leg, it just looks ugly. I feel like it throws off a physique.
It didn't look beautiful. It didn't look beautiful, but it looks cool, bro. It looks insane.
I think you have to have the clavicle width to match it. So So like Rami, Carlos, for example, it looks good on them because they're just as wide. Versus Rubiel, even Withers. It kind of looks obvious because they're just not as wide up top, you know, compared to like Rami and Carlos. You got to have the width to match those quads.
Yes.
If you have this, even if you don't have big arms, and if you have the shoulder width to match it, then it flows. Jonathan was at USA's like a couple years ago, the Spectator, and I saw him, and he looked like his upper body looked like. Well, he wasn't working out at all. I think his upper body looked like
same year. That was the year I won.
It was actually. It was. His upper body looked like a guy who works out on the weekends for fun. Then I was like, "Yo, let me see your quad. I want to show it to my older brother." And then he pulled up first of all, he couldn't pull it up. His shorts wouldn't go up, so it took him like a minute. He pulls it up, and it was like, imagine seeing like Carlos legs, but separated on the upper body of somebody who doesn't work out. It's like, and this is him not training. This is how he looks not training anything. That's genetics that it doesn't even make sense at all.
Bro, I remember Justin Compton in 2022 came to visit to see Paul. I think Paul was 6 weeks out, and he decided to train alongside Paul. And this is back when Justin was only training maybe once or twice a week just to do it. And I saw this dude's arms like blow up in the matter of like a minute. It's like his arm is kind of like this fucking big. And all he did was like 2 exercises and it's fucking huge. What the fuck, Justin?
You talking about Compton?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has crazy in it. Yeah, I mean, some people every time I'm with him at these shows, you know how many people ask him, "Are you coming back?" Oh, you put some size on. He didn't. Man hasn't put on any size. He's getting smaller.
when he was chilling with us in the hotel room at the Cal, I think it was the Cal. Well, wherever he was chilling with us, he was eating apple pie for breakfast. It was this big thing of apple pie. That was his breakfast. What the fuck?
Bro, he came and stayed with me here at my place, bro. It was burgers. It was for some reason, don't ask why. One of those prep things. I started baking cookies for him because I couldn't eat it. So I wanted to bake cookies. It's the weirdest thing ever, bro. So I felt like
did you have a little apron on that said "Kiss the Chef"?
like honestly, it seemed like he felt weird about it. Like, why don't you cooking me cookies? But he's not going to turn it down. I was. You get to that point where I'm just fixated. I want to do something. I'm like, I make really good cookies. Really? Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but I do have some cookies. He was having cookies, burgers, and just lean. He was just lean, you know. And me and him was just smoking, talking. It was fun, man. Honestly, it was fun.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. I think we've been on for a while, man. Yeah.
That's that post show talk.
yeah.
But sometimes the comments don't understand, right? Yo, let's get 3-hour episodes. I'm like, whoa, hold up. We got shit to do, bro. What the fuck?
We got a father here. We got prep. Like, bro, like we got things to do, bro. We got things to do.
Now, what I will say, every time we get this crew on, bro, if I'm in prep, it's the same thing. I wake up and I'm like, bro, I don't know how to tell them, but I don't want to do the podcast, bro. I want to lay the fuck back down. But once I get on, bro, I feel so much better. Like this is not how I am all the time. Like I don't I literally I don't be talking to people at the gym, bro. I try not to make eye contact. I try not to make eye contact.
Hey, bro, I posted something the other day where it says like I hate when I make plans when I'm feeling great, and by the time I get to those plans, I'm like, fuck.
But every time, but people, you'll learn. People they talk, but they don't say anything. What are you talking about, bro? What are you saying? Yeah, bro, I'm dieting too. Okay, congrats. You know, because it's hard though because I'm a mechanic. I'm like. Cool. Why are we having this conversation right now? Like, can we just work out? Like, but they'll just say shit, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't really want to talk about this right now. I just want to get the fuck out of here. so, but anytime I get on with y'all, man, it's like I could talk for 3 hours. I
know I could keep going, man. We're you know, because we all have history. We're like brothers, man. You know, dude. It's been almost 3 years, you know, since this thing started that we've been doing this. And
it's been 2 years.
That's crazy.
That's so crazy. It's like that's insane, man.
And just to see where everyone is going, like just people's lives as they continue to move forward. It's fucking amazing, you know. It's amazing. So I'm always in you guys' corner. I'm always rooting for y'all. So I'm excited to see Joe at Tampa and Zayd. I can't wait till you step on the pro stage, man. Like I'm so excited for you guys. And then Beatty, pro card this year, man. Like you're looking good. I think you're gonna do great things. So I'm excited for all of you. You know,
appreciate
it. Yeah. Don't jinx me. You'll see me 220, 226, 226 next week.
212 looking good.
I still remember like 3-4 days out, and Joe and Paul see me like, well, you were in shape, but lost a lot of weight to get there.
Yeah, but you look like that tire that ran over a nail on the way here, dog.
Yeah, because the funny part, because like I swear, like 6 weeks out, Joe was like, yo, Joe was like, yo, Paul, yeah. I'm like, you feel the energy, like, yeah, right? He's like, yo, Beatty, yo, if this was lasted, bro, I'm telling you. And then 4 days out, it's like, okay, let me see quarter turn one more time. And I'm like, yeah, right? I'm like, what you
like, okay. You're looking at your face like you're trying to get like an honest reaction. They don't want to give you the truth, man.
I was like, damn, Beatty. I was like, I saw him. I said, damn, Beatty, you look different, man.
Me and Joe just look at each other and catch eyes, and we're on the same page. Like, fuck.
Paul trying to throw in a compliment. Oh, okay. Glutes, yeah, glutes in. Like, yeah, like, the glutes, right? Okay. It's one of those things, man. But no, it's not gonna happen. All right, gentlemen.
All right, boys.
Thank you for coming on, everybody, man.
All right, guys. Great seeing you guys.
Good seeing you guys. Take care.